Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to do topic 51A of paper 2, and here we will be discussing respiration. So what is respiration? It is the process that includes intake of oxygen. It is a process which includes intake of oxygen and chemically brings about the oxidation and decomposition of organic compounds. Brings about the oxidation and decomposition of organic compounds with the release of energy So it includes intake of oxygen and chemically bringing about oxidation and decomposition of organic compounds to release energy. So from this you can understand that here what happens in the reaction here: C6H12 plus O6 plus 6E2 intake because it intakes oxygen, and it gives away 6CO2 plus 12H2O, and most importantly energy. Here energy is released. So this was respiration. Let me rub this. And to keep up respiration, to keep up the life process in motion, energy is derived by, and here as we know we need to keep the life process in motion, the life needs to be in motion. So here the energy is derived by oxidation of various photosynthesis products. Energy derived by oxidation of photosynthesis products. What this is? C6H12O6, or not plus O6, O6. This is what is this? This is an photosynthesis product. We get this in photosynthesis. So all living cells of plants, mostly actively growing regions, respire. So around all living cells, but mostly, although all living cells work mostly actively growing regions. Actively growing regions of plants respire. Normally it involves absorption of O2. As you can see that O2 is absorbed here. Intake of O2 is there. Liberation of CO2 and here CO2 is liberated, and conversion of potential energy to kinetic energy. And here you should know that potential energy is converted to kinetic energy. So this is what respiration is. I hope you understand. Now what is the significance of respiration? Let me rub it first. Significance of respiration: releases energy which is consumed in various metabolic processes. It releases energy, and this energy is consumed in various metabolic processes. It brings about formation of other necessary compounds participating as important cells constituents. It brings about formation of other necessary compounds. Necessary compounds participating as important cell constituents. These necessary compounds participate as important cell constituents. So respiration leads to the formation of these compounds. It converts insoluble food into soluble form. insoluble food into soluble form. It liberates CO2 and plays an important role in maintaining balance in carbon cycle in nature. Liberates CO2 and plays an important role in balancing and maintaining carbon cycle. It converts stored energy into usable form. Converts stored energy into usable form. So these were the significance of respiration. Now moving on to types of respiration. So we will all know that we have two types of respiration, that is aerobic and anaerobic respiration. First of all, we will discuss aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration, as the name suggests, aerobic means in presence of oxygen, so it takes place in presence of oxygen, and the stored foods get completely oxidized. Stored food gets completely oxidized into CO2 and water. It is found in all plants. It is found in all plants. Mostly plants do aerobic respiration. So here the reaction is C6H12O6 plus O6, 6 O2, and it gives out 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O plus energy, which is 686 kilocalorie. Sorry. Now second one is anaerobic respiration. So at name says anaerobic. Here presence of oxygen, so anaerobic means absence of oxygen. It takes place in absence of oxygen, or when oxygen concentration is less than 1%. Oxygen concentration is less than 1%, that is, it can't be used by the plants. The stored food is incompletely oxidized. Here the stored food, here it is completely oxidized. Here the stored food is incompletely oxidized. It is rare and occurs in microorganisms. Very rare. It is very common, occurs in all plants. It is very rare, occur in microorganisms, like you can say yeast. So what happens here? C6H12O6, as no oxygen is present here, so it forms 2C2H5OH plus 2CO2 plus energy, which is only 56 kilocalorie kcal. That is very less than aerobic respiration. So this was aerobic and anaerobic respiration. You can also differentiate between those using this thing. Now, what are the similarities? It was asked in previous year questions, so you must know some similarities between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Similarities between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. First of all, they both use glucose as starting molecule. Or you can say substrate. What is starting molecule is called, through which reaction is starts, that is substrate. So they both use glucose as substrate. Both produces ATP. However, aerobic respiration produces a lot more ATP compared to aerobic respiration. We have seen that in aerobic respiration, the energy production, the ATP production is a lot more than anaerobic respiration. Thirdly, food is oxidized in both cases and energy is released In both cases, and energy is released. Although in aerobic respiration, this release of energy happens in absence of oxygen in anaerobic respiration. Both takes place inside cell. Both happens inside cells. Both produces byproducts. Byproducts are produced by both. So these are the common similarities you must know. It was asked in exams, so you could have some knowledge so that you can go through, you can write those questions, and if you write these points, you will fetch good marks, fetch decent marks. Now moving on to the next topic of this session, that is Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle. So it is also known as TCA cycle, that is tricarboxylic acid. Tricarboxylic acid cycle. TCA cycle, it is known as organic acid cycle. Organic acid cycle, it is also known as mitochondrial respiration. Mitochondrial respiration, oxidation of pyruvate, because oxidation of pyruvate takes place, so it is also called oxidation of pyruvate, or you can say oxidative decarboxylation acid cycle. So this is how you can say, or you can name, Krebs cycle. I hope you understand. Now let me rub this. Now, so how this Krebs cycle proceeds? Suppose, first of all, here pyruvic acid is there, which is produced through glycolysis. We will discuss glycolysis in next session, just session after this, where we will discuss how in glycolysis pyruvic acid is produced through glucose. So here pyruvic acid, and this converts into acetyl CoO. So here what happens? Oxaloacetic acid. Here H2O comes in, and from here CoE is going to acetyl CoA. Coenzyme A. CoA means coenzyme A. So here oxaloacetic produces itself, converts itself into citric acid. Again here H2O comes in, that is water is added. It, after addition of water, it changes itself into isocitric acid. Then it converts itself to oxalosuccinic acid. And here CO2 is released. And after release of CO2, it forms into alpha ketoglutamic acid. And then it, here again CO2 is released, and here you can see that there is a conversion of NAD to NADH2. You can say NADH2 to NAD. And then here succinyl CoH, succinyl coenzyme A here is converted, then it converts itself into succinic acid. Here GDP converts itself to GTP. This GTP is not economics GTP, another GTP, it's like ADP and DDP. And here succinic acid converts itself to fumaric acid. And this fumaric acid converts itself to malic acid. And here again H2OH, that is water, is added. And this malic acid again converts itself to oxaloacetic acid. So this cycle continues, and this is what we call Krebs cycle. So you must draw the cycle and must remember this cycle. It is very important. and I hope you understand how there is conversion of there from citric to isocytric flow, oxaloacetic flow to alpha ketoglutamic to succinyl CO to succinic acid, then fumaric, then malic, then oxaloacetic, and then again to citric. So this is what Krebs cycle is. Now moving on, what is the significance of Krebs cycle? Significance of Krebs cycle. It brings about complete and final oxidation of pyruvate into aerobic respiration. Brings about complete and final oxidation of pyruvate in aerobic respiration. Secondly, it produces simple and harmless end products. Produces simple and harmless end products such as CO2, H2O. So these are simple and harmless end products. Thirdly, it is responsible for major share of energy release and supply. It is responsible for major share of energy release and supply during aerobic respiration. So you must know that around 24 energy is released by TCA out of 48. So you can say that 50% of its energy in aerobic respiration is released by Krebs cycles, released and supplied by Krebs cycles. This is a very important point. 50% of energy in aerobic respiration. Produces many important 4C, 5C and 6C organic acids. Produces many important 4C, 5C and 6C organic acids. These are produced by Krebs cycles that act as acids as intermediates. Fifth, TCA cycle occurs in mitochondrial matrix. It occurs in mitochondrial matrix in presence of oxygen. Thus it takes place only in aerobes. In presence of oxygen, hence it takes place only in aerobes, because only aerobes are those that can produce energy in presence of oxygen. Number 6, it is final oxidative pathway. It is final oxidative pathway. Integration of major metabolic pathways. Here you can say integration of major metabolic pathway. Number 8, fat is burned on wick of carbohydrate. Fat is burned on wick of carbohydrates. It acts as a source of precursor of biosynthetic pathways. Source of number 9, source of precursor of biosynthetic pathways. Precursor of biosynthetic pathways. So this was the significance of Krebs cycle. Hope you all understand this. So that is all for today. I hope you all understand all the concepts we discussed today. For any queries, do comment. If you like it, please press the like button. Do share and subscribe. Keep making notes. I tell you in every session the notes you are going to make are mastered. More than 80 to 90, almost every question will be directly from the topics, therefore directly from the notes I am going to teach you. And if you write the answers as I am teaching the notes, you will fetch decent and good marks. Fetch very good marks. So that's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.